Good evening. This meeting is now called to order. This is a Public Works and Transportation Committee meeting for Monday, October the 16th. I'm the Chair, Councilmember Xanthia Oliver for the 3rd District. At this time, I will call the roll for those members of the committee first. Okay. Councilmember, please put your phones on mute, please. Nathan. Councilmember Vice Chair Vince White.
Present.
Councilmember Latrice Bracy.
Present.
Councilmember Nathan Field.
Present.
Councilmember Brigida Fields.
Present.
Councilmember James Spadola. Councilmember President Trippy Congo.
Here.
As a friendly reminder, members of the committee should be making motions and seconds. Okay, on the agenda tonight, the Public Works and Transportation Committee, we only have one ordinance, so this should be a pretty short meeting. Ordinance 2305. Is someone here to speak regarding this ordinance?
Madam Chair, Vince Brocha, Deputy Commissioner, Department of Public Works, here to speak about this contract. This is a concrete improvements contract with Diamond Materials. We're seeking to extend this for 2 one-year extensions.
Okay, Vince, this ordinance, it's a regular ongoing ordinance. The impact of the ordinance for a 2-year contract extension estimates for $3,077,900. Is this the regular amount every 2 years?
That's the amount for each year, for each extension. So this concrete improvements contract is part of our capital projects. This goes in conjunction with street paving. So this contract is for installing concrete curb and ADA curb ramps. That work happens in advance of the street paving. This supports that.
Okay, I do have a question, but I'm going to reach out to see if any council members have a question first. Yes, Council Chair Vince White.
My question is there any cost savings in the exercising of the 2-year contracts?
Good question.
There is, as it relates to the prevailing wage, since this was bid a year ago, that locked in the prevailing wage rate on the contract for the term.
And is it your opinion that if it was not a 2-year extension and we went out for another additional year, it would be higher or lower, in your professional opinion?
I believe what we have been seeing in 4 bid contracts is that anything going out recently has been higher than contracts that were let a year or more ago.
Madam Chair, may I follow up?
Yes, please.
And it says in the whereas, well, it's all whereas language, but it says with the possibility of 2 extensions of 1 year. What does that mean, the possibility?
So it's up to the department and the contractor if they wish to extend. In this instance here, the contractor has indicated their according to them, they will extend with us for 1 year. At some point, if their costs were to get out of hand, that they were losing money, then both parties would need to agree to extend the contract for the second 1-year extension.
So the extension is at the sole discretion of the vendor or the city?
The city. It's both parties have to agree to extend.
No further questions, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Do we have any other questions from council members? Okay, is there anyone, no, one other question that I'd like to ask Vince. Do we know where they're going to be doing the curbing and the street paving in advance? Do you have a list of certain areas? Is it on the west side, north side, or first district, fifth district?
It's literally all around town. So what we've, Madam Chair, what we've been doing here over the last several years, we've been working in advance with Delmarva Power and others that are doing road cuts. And as you know, we changed the ordinances back in 2022, November 2022, where all of the road restoration work is performed now by the city. So in instances where another utility, say, Delmarva Gas, where they may be on the hook for paving half the road, what we will typically do is come in and do the other half. And then if that road, those intersections do not already have ADA ramps, then we'll do the concrete work. And by the time we're done, the intersections are ADA compliant, and the entire road ends up getting paved. So it's all over. We do have a decision map with the 2024 work for Delmarva, as well as where we have planned water work and so forth. So that is something we can share if need be.
Thanks, Vince. That was my next follow-up. Could you just share that with Marshall, please? And the reason why I'm asking that is because, periodically people call me and say, Councilwoman, they're working on my block. I didn't know they was going to be out here. But if I have something in advance, at least I can send it to my volunteers for the Civic Association, North Side or 11th Street Bridge. I can say, look, let your people know that they're going to be doing some road work over there. So, it's just courtesy that everybody's not waking up and they have tickets because nobody knew they was doing work that day. But I do have to say, I think I'm encouraged with the work that's going around as far as the infrastructure and changing the piping. Let me see. So if you can just send that over, I would appreciate it so I can share it with other council members so their constituents aren't caught off guard. I can catch it every now and then, send something out.
We also, Madam Chair, we also are sending out 2-week look-ahead schedules in advance, and anybody that wants to be on that list, we can certainly add them to the distribution list. That'll give the various contractor schedules 2-week look-ahead. Each week we send that out and update it.
Vince, I did see that, but I just wanted to make that public announcement because sometimes people call me, and I haven't been sending it out because it just hasn't been something I've been doing. But I wanted to, since someone, Christian Kirkland did mention it to me, so I just wanted to make a public announcement that I did request it because y'all just started the 2-week. But it'd be good if you could send it to Marshall so the council members, all of us can have it, and I appreciate it. Councilman White, did you have another question?
Yes, since the meetings went another way, Deputy, regarding paving, my civic and other civics and planning councils have indicated a frustration with streets being partially paved. And partially paved, I know you know the language better than I, but First District residents have indicated they want curb-to-curb repaving after this after this Delmarva issue. How is that determined? And will I be able to go back to the residents and tell them that they will have curb-to-curb paving on their streets?
I would need to take a look at the individual locations, but typically what the code requires, if say in the case of Delmarva Gas, if they tear up one lane, they're going to be responsible for full lane width restoration, minimum of 25 feet, maximum is whatever the area of disturbance is, plus 2-foot cutback on each side. So in the case of some of the the roads, I would be if you would give me locations, we could certainly tell you we charge them up front for it. So when they finish their work and let us know that their trench is restored and they're ready for paving, we will then put those locations on the list. And as I said, if they were only to be responsible for one lane, we were typically coming back and doing both lanes and doing the curb to curb and the ADA ramps while we're there.
And may I have a follow-up, Madam Chair? So on a street, a one-way street, be it 39th, 40th, 41st, 42nd, they're one way. They're not two lanes. So is the city code expectation that they would be paved from curb to curb? And then I have a follow-up question, if you don't mind.
Typically, the one-way streets would be, correct.
And lastly, I'd reached out to the contractor and to the administration regarding the work that, of course, you know about, that DPNL is doing, and finding that a lot of the catch basins are filled with construction debris to the extent that when the water comes in, it rolls right over. Has there been any directive? And when I talked to the site contractor, I asked why was there no water membranes being placed over the basins? Are you able to elaborate on that decision, or was that part of the scope of work?
They're supposed to maintain E&S controls anytime they're out doing mill and paving in the on our roadways. So that would be something I would have to defer to our construction inspectors. If they go out there and find that they're not putting in membrane over the catch basins, then they will typically shut them down until they put the E&S measures in place.
Well, Director, thanks for that. And if your inspectors can go out to anywhere from 35th down to 42nd up to Margaret, you're not going to see any water membranes over any of those catch basins. And if you go out on a rainy day, you'll see the ones particularly near me overflowing because of the silt and debris. So if I'm hearing you correctly, water membranes or some other type of mitigation to prevent that the construction debris, silt, and otherwise that go in those drains is a part of their scope of work, and they should be honored.
If they're out doing milling or paving where there's any type of any type of debris that can be washed down, they're supposed to be have E&S protections in place, and they're supposed to be cleaning up as they finish up each area.
Well,
So I mean, I can certainly refer our construction inspectors over to your district and have them check the work that's going on in the area.
And how will I know the outcome of that inspection, Deputy?
I'm going to send them an email after we get off this meeting and have them go out and check with Delmarva and check the area.
And you'll follow up?
Yes, sure.
Thank you very much, Deputy.
Thank you, Councilman White. Deputy, I'd like to piggyback off of what Councilman White has stated. Glad y'all brought this up. As far as the water membranes on the east side, they've been doing a lot of work on Spruce Street. Yeah, that's Spruce Street. And on Bennett Street where they're building the homes. And I just received, we just had a meeting, long story short, some people are having, some individuals are having some issues with the water overflow over down there, where some mice, because now they're breaking ground, whatever they're doing, and they're doing work over there. Could you also add that to your list? That would be on Spruce Street. That would be on Lombard Street, where the city is great to build some additional homes down there. And that's also on Clifford Brown. We have a lady who's 80 years old and her basement is flooded. And they're trying to say it's not from the work from DPNL or the whoever's doing the work over there. And based on this, it may be Diamond, whoever's doing the work. I think it's important that, as Councilman White has stated, that, whoever's doing the work, someone needs to follow up and make sure them drains are there. So these individual homes, and they're older homes, their basements are being flooded, no one wants to come out. I mean, it's like a whole neighborhood is being ignored over there. It's so much construction work being done, but nobody's paying attention to, all this water that's running in people's basement. And these are seniors, so you say we want to keep them in their houses, and no one's really following up to help them as much as they should be. So if you could have a site contractor look into the water membranes on the east side, and I think that's wherever they're doing work, them, they should be checking into that. So whatever scope of work. And while we're on the subject, if I received several emails from Senator Brown where Vanderbilt Avenue was paved. I think we discussed this before. And Delmarva Power came and did some work, and it looks a mess over there. And he just sent me another email stating, I spoke to Kelly about this, when are they going to repave Vanderbilt Avenue? It was done freshly, looked beautiful, smooth. They came out, when I say they, whoever your contractors was, including the cities, they did the sidewalks, they did the street paving, and it's not fair that it's been over maybe 2 years now, that year and a half, that Vanderbilt Avenue. And I remember they spoke, a lady called me, and Kelly said someone would be out there and take care of it this summer. Now we're into winter, and they haven't followed up. So
Okay.
that's,
I'll follow up on the locations that you've given me.
okay, so that's 10th, definitely 10th and Bennett, the guy's basement is flooded. Do we have any questions from the public? Do we have any questions? Let me go back to city council, because I should have said that first. Okay, with no questions being asked, this is an ordinance. It's required to be voted out of committee. So if there's a motion to move this out of committee, Marcia, what day would this be on the agenda for council?
This would be on the council agenda for Thursday, November the 2nd.
November the 7th?
Motion, Madam Chair.
7?
Second.
2nd, I'm sorry. Okay, this would be on the agenda for November the 2nd. Is there a motion?
There is a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, so it's been properly moved in second. This ordinance will be voted out of committee. And on the agenda for November the 2nd, all those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay. With that being said, this meeting, do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Motion to adjourn, Madam Chair.
Do I have a second?
Second.
It's been properly moved in second, and this meeting is adjourned. All those in favor say aye.
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 Okay, this meeting has been adjourned. Brigida, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Have a good one.